Hello, welcome everyone. Today we're talking about spring clean your LinkedIn profile. It don't know how the weather is where you are. I see people coming in here. It's a little chilly but sunny, so I'm all about spring cleaning. And let's talk about how to spring clean your LinkedIn profile today. Today we're looking at the profile basics. So one, love that feedback. I always like to leave that on so I can check, do I hear me? And I certainly can. And I can hear you as well. If you write in the comments, write in the chat, I see people coming in. And good morning from Miami. Hello, Michelle. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to be covering some stuff that I think even you will enjoy. We're going to bring all the goodies today. So today we are talking about how your LinkedIn profile is really your digital first impression. And if it's not working for you, it's working against you. Ouch. Think about it this way. When someone lands on your profile, they decide within seconds whether to connect, start a conversation, follow, or scroll away. And today, let's make sure they stick around and start a conversation with you, assuming that you're attracting the right people and bringing in the right kind of audience, because that's also what we're going to talk about today. This is part one of a multi-part series designed to help refresh or spring clean and build up your LinkedIn presence step by step. Today, we're starting at the very top. So these are the most visible parts of your profile. So it's kind of like where you get the biggest bang for your buck, the least amount of effort and the biggest return on your investment. These are the areas that get the most eyeballs and actually determine whether someone engages with you or moves on. And why is this important? Why LinkedIn? A polished profile builds trust before you ever say a word. It's something that our grandparents could only dream about, having your own publishing center where you can put out materials that you want, how you want, when you want, and publish where you're fully in control. The right visuals and messaging help people instantly understand who you are and what you offer. This is key. This is so important. And as a verbal branding expert, like this is so true to my heart. And it lets you answer the three big question everybody wants to know. Are you ready? Elizabeth, what are the three big questions? Well, I'm going to tell you because I'm so glad you're here. So the three big questions everybody wants to know is, who are you? Why are you here? And what do you want? These are the three big questions. If you don't know the answers to these yet, homework. I'm already giving you homework. Like, these are three questions you should be able to answer at any time. Most people can't. So when you answer them, it puts you ahead of the crowd. And that's what I want for you. So, today we're talking about small strategic updates that can make a huge difference in your visibility. And this is the kicker, in the opportunities that come your way. So, quick overview, what we're covering today, what we're talking about today. And I'm going to bring up some slides. Here I am. Spring clean your LinkedIn profile. So, bringing up the slides, just a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. So, you can kind of think of it like your spring clean checklist. You might be thinking, oh, I have to clean the closets and the eaves and the. Nope, we're going to be talking about your photo, your banner, your headline, and your featured section. Like I said, all that junk at the top, where when they've done heat map studies of where people spend the most time, where they view the longest, where the eyeballs stick, it's in these sections. So this is where it really counts. So let's start there and get it right before we continue on. Excellent. So profile photo, I put a check mark there. We're going to start right there. And profile photos, it's different than Facebook if you're coming from the Facebook world, or even Instagram or other social media platforms. LinkedIn, we really want to have a profile photo that looks like you. It's supposed to be your personal profile, and it's a way for people to connect on a professional level. So we want to get your name, your face, and your voice front and center. People do business with people. People hire people. People give money to people. Okay, people give money to Amazon too. Yeah, but we are talking about your profile photo. And so we want to talk about what kinds of photos would work best. And I just slapped up here a bunch of profile photos to talk about. I've seen, excuse me, I've seen a lot of trends in the past years putting different, I don't think you can see my mouse, but you can see the blue and yellow and orange colored ones. There are trends in kind of artistically displaying your face. I mean, if you're an artist, maybe you want to do that, but even that I would discourage, really. What are your thoughts on AI photos as profile pictures? Yeah, there is a growing trend for using AI as a tool to boost your profile on LinkedIn, to create content, to do many things, especially repetitive tasks, which I'm a fan of. However, think about this. What will someone think? What will someone feel? How will someone react when they've gotten to know this image, this profile photo of you? This is what they think of as you when they come to your LinkedIn page, and then they get on a video call with you. Are you the same or different? Will I be shocked? Will I be disturbed? Now, you're seeing me here on a live event, so you see how I look, you see how I move, you hear how I speak. So if we get on a video call, or if we meet in person, there shouldn't be any big surprise. And that's my goal. That's my goal here. And that should also be your goal with your profile photo, so that when you meet in person at a conference to make a deal, to have a call, you don't want a shock or a moment of pause. And it's like dating profiles. You don't want to catfish anyone, not even in the professional world. So looking at these photos here, a few things I want to point out. Most of them are showing just the face and a little bit like this bubble where you see me. Also, Michelle, I wanted to say thank you for that question. Thank you for that question about the AI photos as profile pictures. If you want to edit your photo, if you want to change the background, the lighting, and put together different photos of you to make it look better, will the person be surprised when they meet you face to face or in a call? That's kind of how I would answer that question. Maybe it'll change in the future, but that's where I stand at this point, and I really appreciate that question. So looking at these photos here, on the very right-hand side, I see a woman looking down, and there's like shafts of light here. This one, I don't see her eyes. The ones with sunglasses, I don't see their eyes. Having eye contact in a profile photo or in person, it works the same because our brains can't quite tell the difference. Getting eye contact helps build trust, which is something we want, in the business world. We want to build trust. You want it to look like you. It should be recent. It should be professional. It should match your brand. It should match your brand. If you're artistic, if you're professional, if you're a bodybuilder and a health professional, you shouldn't be holding a Coke, maybe. You want something that matches your brand. It should be well lit, high resolution, like let me see you, and be framed well. As I said, this woman looking down, some of the other ones, there's a man just below her where his chin's cut off a little bit. And there's another woman, where I should have circled these. There's another woman where there's so much sunshine, right to the side of the woman looking down, where there's so much sunshine on her face, I almost can't even see it. I want to be able to see you and looking at the camera. So photos just from here, I see that I really like. On the top, there's a woman looking directly at the camera. I really like that one. She's next to the woman with blue. The one on the phone, if there's something related to phones in her brand, anyone kind of looking engaged directly at the camera. And it can be funny. It can be to the side. On the bottom row, there's a man with earphones on. I think that's a great photo. We can see him directly. It's clear. The woman right next to him, kind of looking over her shoulder, is also fine. Yeah, there's another woman coming in right now. Aisha, welcome. Hello, happy to join you from Nigeria. Welcome. I'm happy to have you here as well. And also, I'm looking at the profile photos of the people joining, because when you make a comment, everyone can see your profile photo, and you both have great photos. It's your face. I can see your face. You're well framed. Looking at the camera, I can see you clearly. So hold on, I'll give you both a prize. The golden pineapple. Success for passing that test. Well done. And with a profile photo, there's no rule about how often to change it or not change it. Do keep it recent, do keep it up to date. And if you're rebranding, if you want to refresh, seasons change, go ahead and change it. Have fun with it, but don't feel stress or pressure about it either. Let's look at the next section. Are there any questions before I move on to the next section? So we talked about your profile photo, which, as I pointed out, travels with you. Not only is it the first thing people see on your page, but when you make a comment, like in this event, everyone sees your profile photo and your name. These are important things. The second area I want to talk about is the banner. But before we go there, I'm going to leave a second for questions or comments. How excited are you about winning a golden pineapple? Woohoo! So exciting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Elizabeth. All right, moving right along. So we want to talk about the banner. The banner. What is the banner, Elizabeth? I'm so glad you asked. What is the banner? This is like your billboard. It's right at the top. It's a huge piece of real estate on your LinkedIn profile. So don't waste it. Don't waste it. I'm looking, I'm showing you my banner. Hold on a second. I was looking for, I thought I put in a slide there, but let's talk about the banner for a second before I go into the slides. Sometimes it can get distracting that way. Yeah, the banner is that great big piece of imagery right at the top. And there are basically, there are a lot of new options and features. For a while, they had slidable ones where you can put multiple banners, or you could have different features with that. I'm going with the most basic, simple times, and that has been consistent for a stable amount of time. So just having something there. And I'm going to talk right now about the 4 basic types of banners that I've seen and that people use and that are effective. So let's go ahead and move on to that slide, and I'll give you examples of each. So the 4 basic types are: 1, an offer banner. This is pretty common when people are selling something, if they have a business, if they have an offer, even if the offer is hire me. If there's something they're offering. Second type is an event. If you're promoting an event. Now, with these types of banners, you're going to need to change them a little more frequently because events come and go. So they're kind of catchy, timely, a great place to Use your billboard to advertise an event that either you're going to or you want to promote. The third type I've seen a lot of is the know, like, and trust banner. So you see there are three, and I told you there are four types of banner images. Well, I'm holding out on the fourth one. If you know what it is, if you can guess, type it. Even if you're listening on the replay, type it in the comments, and I'll give the golden pineapple prize for the person who gets it right. But while you're thinking of that, I'm going to give you examples of each of these. So, moving along the next slide, the first one there at the top is kind of the no. Oh, sorry, that is the offer banner. This highlights your program, your product, your service, your company, whatever it is you're offering. And if you notice on each of these examples, you'll see my face. So on the first one, you can see my offer. What do I offer people? I offer leadership presence, verbal branding, tech support, confidence. I'm not selling right now, but I'm just showing you these as examples. And you see I'm front and center, and you can see me. That's actually the one I have currently. The second banner example here, join us live October 17th. I had a guest speaker. I had a guest speaker that day, and it was wonderful with Victoria, and she came on, and I used my banner space to highlight our live event that we were doing together, How to Speak Like a Leader. It was a great event. And at that time, it's not happening at the moment, but at that time, LinkedIn pushed live events to the banner section so that anyone visiting my profile at that time would see the live event. It was a really nice feature that happened automatically that has moved on. Yay, LinkedIn, always changing and growing. The third one, the third banner example I have here is not current, is not live. That's kind of a know, like, and trust. Just putting out what I do, what kinds of things I'm interested in, what topics I want to talk about. This is just getting my personal brand out there, putting my personal brand front and center rather than my event or rather than my offer. Now, there's a big old red X there. Why is that red X there? Is a mistake? Kind of. I created this banner and I put it up I published it on LinkedIn, and I noticed right in that area where I had text on the left side where that red square is, my profile photo was kind of covering it, so it wasn't that useful. If you notice on the other two banners, I quickly learned to leave that space, that bottom left corner, blank, because the profile photo does come there, and we don't want to cover that up. Why write it if, yeah, what, but yeah, why write it if you're going to cover it up anyway? So I mentioned that there are four specific types of banners. If you're using one right now, one of these four, please let me know in the comments. Let me know which one you're using or which one you've seen a lot of. Again, just to refresh, there's the offer banner where you highlight your program, your product, your service, your company, whatever offer you have. Your event banner, promo for a specific event. It's dated, but really could be quite impactful because it's front and center. 3 is the know, like, and trust, where you show your personality, your values, what you stand for, what issues, what values, what you want to talk about. And the fourth one, I still have not revealed. Any guesses? What is the fourth one again? You can, if you're listening on the replay, you still can guess. Just do hashtag replay and tell me what you think number 4 is. And I will give you a clue now with the next slide. It's coming. So here is a page I found. Now, Michelle, don't get upset. This is not your page. I just looked up. I was actually looking for your page when I found this, and this is a page where the banner is blank. Where the banner is blank. We can't see the banner at all. And in my mind, this is the fourth type, and I really don't like it because it's basically just leaving so many opportunities on the table, leaving so many opportunities on the table because right here, fail. The fourth type of banner is a fail, and I don't want you to do that. So please put something there, either an offer, a personal branding, put that front and center, or an event, put something, or where you live. If you live in a really cool space, I know some people like to highlight where they live. That would be your personal brand, something you care about, something you value. So please do not leave that into category 4, the fail category. I don't want that for you. So, the next area we want to talk about, like I said, we're going through this pretty quickly, and I'm hoping you can do these tasks today or this week. So, we've talked about the photo, we talked about the banner. Now we want to talk about your headline. I've heard people say tagline or headline, and this is the little piece of text that follows you everywhere you go. Not only is it right at the top of your LinkedIn profile, but when you make a comment, people will see your name, your profile photo, and your headline, or in this case, tagline, because it tags along with you, your tagline there. So, Elizabeth, what should we put here? Many people, when LinkedIn first started, thought about it kind of like your job title. So, my name is Elizabeth. This is my job. This is what I do. This is where I work. Let me change back to my talky self. We're going to have a little intimate conversation here now. Get a little closer. So, yeah. So, the headline, it travels with you everywhere, but really, it can be anything. It's a short piece of text and you can put anything there that you want. Could you put your job title? Yes. Is it super helpful? Is it bringing you value? Is it working for you? Which was the point I made earlier today. We want your LinkedIn profile to work for you, not the other way around. Is this going to make people want to start that conversation with you? It should be clear, it should be compelling. Many people, there have been trends where they've given many LinkedIn gurus have given sort of fill in the blank um, headlines, who you help, how you help them, why it matters, which is great until you see 750 in the same format. So, you can use this. If this works for you, great, because it's effective. It gets your message front and center. Other people have used quotes, an attention getter, something that says, answers those 3 big questions, right, that I mentioned at the very start. Who are you? Why are you here? And what do you want? Right? We want to answer those questions not only with your photos and the imagery of your banner, but also here in your headline. And I encourage you to test different versions for impact. Test different version. It doesn't cost a thing to edit, to publish, to change. Doesn't cost a thing, just your time. Just your time. So think about it, try different things, see what responses are. See what responses are to your headline. Let's get back to the slides. So, welcome to everyone who's just coming in now. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you here. We are doing a spring clean of our LinkedIn profile. So far, we've talked about the photo, the banner, the headline, and now we're moving on, going a little deeper. Let me get a drink. So I want to show you this profile. I came across this profile, and if you're watching live, you can probably guess a few things I don't like about it. A few things I don't like about it. Let's do just a quick audit. Do I know this person? No, I don't. I came across this person's profile and I thought, let me just do a quick audit. If you know this person, I'm giving a free audit. So the photograph, the profile photo right there. Well, the name I blacked out. That was me. I blacked out the name. The name was written clearly, super, everything, no problem there. So I blacked it out. The profile photo, the cropping's good. It's clear. The lighting, nothing's covering the face. But the face has some emotions. Are those the emotions he wants? Are these the emotions that you want to tell people, hey, this is me. This is the first impression I want to give you. This facial expression is kind of rough. It's different than mine, but maybe he's a maverick. Maybe he wants to promote that. It depends. Depends on your brand and what you are putting front and center. And these are all choices. The second thing I noticed there is the banner. It's the no banner. So put something there. If you want to be a maverick, put big heavy machinery or whatever you're doing or offering or promoting or an event, weightlifting, put it there. Let me see it. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And we're leaving these ones blank. We don't want to leave them blank. A few other things that we haven't spoken about. I can see some companies listed there on the side. These are all things that LinkedIn prompts you to fill in and give information about as soon as you open a profile. So this person has filled it in. Great. That's well done. I'm going to give a mini golden pineapple for that. So we're doing a free audit here. The headline or the tagline I see here is a quote. Always bet on doing things as simple as possible and never assume anything. This is interesting. What are we talking about? What's interesting here? I also see there's a few connections, Bratislava metropolitan area. And then we go down to the about area, but really there's not a lot here I can respond to. Who is he? Okay, he did write his name. Why is he here? And what does he want? I don't know. So, only one question answered. Now, I did include here the about section because when we scroll down all the way down to 2024, so we have to go from 1993 to 2024, I can see he's a manager. Actually, I can see he's been a manager since 2004. But that's a lot of work for me to find out he's a manager, right? So we don't want to make people work that hard to know the best parts about you. We want your LinkedIn profile to work for you, to put all those best things front and center, right? And get you connected with the right people and attract the attention of people who are looking for, in this case, for example, a manager who likes inspiring quotes. All right. So I think, yeah, so this one gets one pineapple out of 5. So it's a good start, but we can do better. We want to do better. So speaking of wanting to do better, here is my LinkedIn profile, and I'm going to just adjust this for a second. Boink, put my head further down. Hi, now I'm down here in this section. All right, excellent. So we're looking at my actual factual right now LinkedIn profile. So you can see my profile photo. I'm kind of leaning to the side, looking forward. You can't tell, but my hair basically still looks the same. I do have braces now, so it's not a recent photo. So I could improve that. The one in the center is also not a recent photo. Like the braces kind of give me away, right? This is saying my offer, done for you live events, leadership presence, verbal branding, tech support, confidence. And I talk about up in the left corner what my offer is. So this is an offer banner. You can see my name, Elizabeth Miller, MBA, she, her. Now, you see all these extra things, add a verification badge. This is what your profile looks like to you. It gives you options to edit. So I'm really taking you behind the scenes of my profile and show you where I can edit. Those little, again, you can't see my mouse, but those little pencil things, I can click on them to edit my banner, to edit my profile photo, to edit my headline. Right now, I have level up with live streaming. Take my 3-minute quiz because that's what I'm all about. I'm about empowering others to level up with live streaming, to get your name, your voice, your brand, your offer, your company, whatever it is that's important to you, front and center. So people know your name, your face, your voice. And right now, today, This spring cleaning is very much linked to that because I'm helping you get the basics so that people can connect with you on LinkedIn and start those important conversations. So, yeah, this is my profile page. This is what it looks like. I kind of gave myself an audit. I would encourage me, if I'm auditing me, places to improve. Get more recent photos. Get more recent photos. We can update and experiment with that headline. How is that working for you? I'm speaking to myself. How is that working for me? How often are people taking the quiz? Is this really where you're getting the most return on investment? What is the call to action you really want people to do or follow up with? Because again, this follows me everywhere when I make a comment or engage with people. Now we are at half past, and I plan this to be about 40 minutes. So we're still on schedule. And I want to go back over our spring clean checklist because we're spring cleaning our LinkedIn profile today. And we've talked about the photo, the profile photo, the banner, the headline. The fourth one I want to talk to you about today is not right up at the top, it's a little further down. That's your featured section. That's your featured section. And that's a really interesting opportunity that LinkedIn gives you. Now I'm going to open up my page again so you can see my featured section. But before I do that, I'm going to just talk about it for a second here. The connection is slow as molasses. So we're going to let it take a moment, let it breathe for a second here. And, this feature section is kind of your greatest hits. What do you want people to see first? Now, when I say first, that's with a caveat because first is the profile photo or maybe your tagline as it follows you around, your banner photo, because human eyes love imagery, right? We go straight to it. So what do we want to see first? From the heat map that I talked about before, when people are looking at a profile, a LinkedIn profile, most of the time is spent, the eyeball time is spent on the photo, on the headline, on that banner. But then if their interest is piqued, if people are interested and want to know more about you, want to continue the conversation, most of the time they scroll down to the featured section. So this is a space where you can highlight videos, articles, posts, lead magnets. Do you want to give, people say lead magnets are out, not maggots, magnets. So any downloads, any freebies you want to give away, use this space wisely. Use this space wisely. So what I'm going to do is encourage you to use it wisely. And I want to share right here. I'm going to share my screen, and this is my actual factual page. So if I click around, you can now see my mouse. And I'm going to, as I said, you can use this to edit, and you can edit the cover image. With premium, you can create a slideshow with up to 5 images. This is a new feature, and it's pretty exciting. This is the space. Oops. This is the space where you can edit. I did not want to do that. Where you can edit this section, but we want to go further down. Here's the about section. People do read that. People are interested, but that's kind of further into the conversation. Most people pop here first on this featured section. Here you can see I have 2. I have the quiz again and the opportunity to book a one-to-one call. I've made the images large, easy to see, easy to read, and clickable. So here, excuse me. If we add one, what can we add in our featured section? You can add a post, one that you've already posted, one that maybe went viral, one that people really respond to, or one that you think super important. You can add a newsletter. You can add an article you've written, a link. That's exactly what I did with these 2. These are both links, and I created an image to go with the link. You can add simply media without the link, with pictures, presentations, documents, anything. Really, LinkedIn offers a lot of opportunities here. And this is the featured section. If you add more items, you can edit in here and arrange the order. I only have two, but you can arrange the order simply by clicking and dragging. You can create multiple items, rotate them, and then people will be able to scroll through. So that is your featured section. That is your featured section. So, and I'm getting messages, and you can see this is really my LinkedIn Live behind the scenes, like live, actual live. And what I want to do now is stop sharing my screen and go back to the slides. And we've covered that featured section. And it's really a chance to shine a spotlight on things you're doing, things that are important to you, things you want to share and let people know about, right? This is your storefront window. No, it's your showcase, it's your portfolio. And the important thing to remember, no matter what you put in there, you can change it anytime. LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn profile is not intended to be a one and done thing. It evolves with you as you grow, as you learn, as you develop. So should your LinkedIn profile. And today, we've covered the key profile elements today. Let me get a drink of water. Just as we're rounding this out, and you can still see it on the slide here for spring cleaning your LinkedIn profile. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that and try and address these things. Do a self audit, if you will. As I said today in our Spring Clean Your LinkedIn Profile, we covered the 4 key profile elements today. But the real question, what I really want to know is your profile really working for you? And let's find out. If you really want to know, I'm offering a 30-minute, totally free, no obligation personal audit where you and I will sit together on a video call. We'll go through your profile together. I'll give you direct feedback on what's working, what maybe needs a refresh or a little spring clean, and how to build up your LinkedIn presence for real results. Now, spots are limited. I don't have unlimited time. So go ahead and drop a fire emoji in the chat or message me. Send me a DM to book your call. Go ahead and do that. I'll send you the link and we can organize that together. So, again, my name is Elizabeth. I'm so glad you were able to join me here today, both those who were here live in the chat and for the replay. We covered the basics. What questions do you have? What's unclear? What further information do you want to know about? This is part 1 of a 3-part series I'm doing to spring clean. Let's get those cobwebs out and refresh your LinkedIn profile. Let's keep this conversation going, and I look forward to talking with you in the DMs very soon. Thanks for joining, and happy cleaning.